So, okay, now let's have a look at what else we can do. So I think now is a good time to start adding the vocals in and start playing around with that and manipulating it. And I feel like maybe just some sort of white noise riser, maybe if we make our own, just sort of sweeping up and down into the drop, is really going to help with that sort of transition between the break and the drop. So let's start with the vocal, which is down here. So let's have a look at what parts we've got.
It's mine. It's mine. No. Can I?
So this seems to be the hit that we're using before the majority of like the drops. So let's just plonk him there and double check where I'm putting him.
Can I? Can I?
That sounds right to me.
Can I? Can I? Can I?
Yeah, so that sounds good. So we've got this little vocal reverse hit here. So let's whack him there where the kick comes out. We can maybe make a cool little riser with that. So let's try it on, a different channel. So let's just duplicate, delete, and then delete that one, so it's vice versa. Go onto here, consolidate that as a full clip, put one on the start, put it all the way across, and then you want to go to MIDI effects, arpeggiator, turn the sync to 3. And then we can do something like that. So just a trial and error to see if this is going to work. Let's pop just a bog standard automation line, something like that. We may want to record it in to just help sit better in the mix. But let's see if we can actually hear it. Definitely hear it. So let's just automate the gain as well, just to give it a more accurate representation of what it needs to be doing. And bring it across from the left so it's more central, so it's like more of an effect. Yeah, it sounds better quieter. I think like combining that with a white noise effect is going to work really nicely. So seeing as we brought up the white noise, let's use that. So I am going to show you how to use Ableton's stock plugin to create white noise. So you go to instruments and then go to operator and then go all the way across. Just find a note, probably F4. Now, currently that's a sine wave, but down here we want to click on this operator here because it's only one at the minute because all the others are turned off. Click where it says sine, and then you want to go noise white. Now you've got your own white noise, and you can use the filter section. And then you can find whichever key you want to use, bit of resonance. So let's probably go up. It's very loud, obviously. So that sounds good to me. And then what I like to do is I like to use a separate filter to automate it. So Ableton's auto filter. And you can either use just sort of a low pass and then filter up like so. You could do it the opposite way around. Sort of make your own down riser, so like this. Or you could use a bandpass, so you can effectively get the same effect as both of those. Personal choice, personal preference. I quite like a bandpass with quite a high resonance. Can sound a bit techy though, like more tech house, mainstream kind of stuff. But I think what I was feeling for this track was just, so for the sake of getting the movement of this white noise right, we're going to bring it up in volume so it's too loud so we can hear what it's doing, and then bring it down in volume. So I'm going to record this in by hand. Something like that. Maybe just bring the resonance down a little bit. And I think with some reverbs and delays. And obviously a sidechain plugin. I think that will do the trick. Again, I will probably fiddle with this in a mix down. You can always affect these as well. So have a look at using phasers and flanges and stuff like that. You can get some like more interesting white noise effects. So I'm going to bring that right back down to about 33, I think we had it on. So it's really subtle in the mix. And I'm just noticing as we go along that I feel like this pad could just be drawn out a bit longer before he starts coming in. Yes, I'm really liking what's going on now. I think once we start adding these vocals in and then affecting them with some maybe crystallizer, maybe even setting up a different kind of echo, I think that breakdown will pretty much be done. And it's always good to note as well that if you spend the time getting everything right on the first breakdown, it's going to make your life easy on the main breakdown, because if you listen to most house and techno tracks, even just most electronic sort of music, the first break mimics the main break or the second break heavily, just with little altercations. So more often than not, you'll find that the first break is just shorter, the main break is just longer, and maybe has a new vocal or something come in, new synth, whatever. So if you're spending the time making sure the vocal hits are right, all the automation is right, we can just then copy this across to our main break and just extend it over. So just spend the time setting up your first breakdown to make your life easier on the main breakdown is always something worth doing. And this applies to your intro and like your first chorus, if you'd like to call it that. So if we spend the time working on our intro properly, not only are we engaging the listener, because that's what they're going to hear first when they listen to our song, is the intro, but then our intro can follow the same as our outro. Our first chorus can follow very similar to our second chorus, and so on and so forth. And then all we just need to do is just add some kind of variation, which is more often than not just adding a new sound or adding a new fill or something, and that's usually the easy part. So yeah, if you find yourself struggling or spending a lot of time on the first half of your track, remember the second half is pretty much going to follow suit as your first half did, but just in reverse. So enough of me rambling on, let's get these vocals sat in. So let's first off grab all the different vocal hits and just randomly, I think that's the one we've got on the drop, isn't it? Yeah, so we're gonna, let's get him, put him there. We've got that one as well. That can go in that part. So we haven't got many other hits. What's this one? Don't really like that one. So that one's quite cool. So let's just drag him across. So now we've got like 5 hits to play around with, which is more than enough. We've got this reverse hits that we can also maybe stretch out and affect. Oh, and we've got these ones down here as well. What are these? So that one's before the drop, isn't it? So let's do the same as it's doing on that breakdown. Same with this, because that worked well on the first one. And then let's copy him in. Let's just put him there. Random for the minute, but we move this as we go along. Listen. And what I'm doing now is actually just listening and then using this pausing technique to find out where I want that vocal hit to go. So something around this mark here. So let's just try him there. Try him there. So don't like that one, but I did quite like this little vocal riser sort of there. that's pretty sick. Let's see what it sounds like if we just automate this reverb heavily. Same with delay. Oh, just remember to put a point as well somewhere here, like later on in the automation line, just so then you don't have to worry about perfectly getting it on the point of that it originally was on.
No.
So maybe see if we can stretch this one out.
You know. It's mine.
It's quite loud, that one, so I'm just gonna bring it down.
You know. You know.
Just bring him forward a bit.
You know. You know.
And I think that will sound nice with just the tail end of that automated with our quarter note echo.
You know. You know. You know. It's mine. It's mine.
So what I am thinking is we're going to put these vocals in some kind of order. So even though they're just sort of vocal hits, almost like ear candy kind of stuff, they're trying to create some sort of narrative. So we're going to have the you know, he's mine, can I? So it almost creates some sort of narrative with even these tiny little vocal chops. So it just feels like a little bit less random, and it sounds like the vocals are actually trying to say something and not just for the sake of adding a vocal. So let's go. So I think that just needs to go there. Maybe just try and extend them out a little bit. Yeah.
It's mine.
So let's add that little drum fill in now, seeing as we are pretty much done on this breakdown. So let's just make sure we've got the same kick, which is this one here. So it needs to happen here. So let's delete the low end, or the bass, should I say, and then just bring this out. See what this sounds like. It might sound nice with like the kick rolling on the 16th. That might help just sort of transition it in. Something like that.
It's mine.
Yeah, that sounds sick. Okay, so now we have pretty much automated everything as much as we can to try and get much as life and character from it. We have added plenty of new elements, and we've got vocal in. I don't know if the vocal needs any kind of automation. We've done some reverb and some echo stuff on it. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So I don't think there's anything we can do to add or make that better. And even if we did start fiddling around with it, we'd probably be getting little to no return, because we have been working on this breakdown now for nearly an hour. So it's always best to just keep the track moving forward, like I've said before. then uploading it to SoundCloud, whatever, listening to it outside the studio, taking some notes, and then coming back in with some fresh perspective. So we're going to leave it here for the minute. Like I said, I wanted to get up until the main break done, but this just proves that even someone who's been producing for years can still spend ages just working on 16 bars of a track. So don't feel demotivated if you're taking your time finishing your tracks, because it will all pay off. So I will see you in the next episode.